Alright, I think this thing is on. Hey everybody, I'm Rex and Wise. This is Third Coffee Studio. I'm working on Knell. What there is of it. I was a couple of minutes late. I was still trying to find this file. It turns out it somehow went into a different folder. That's not good. But I'll have to do that later. Let's see, where was it again? Yeah, actually, why did it go into that folder? Okay, well that's going to be a mess to kind of figure out. Somehow it put it into another folder without me knowing. I thought it would go into the last folder I opened, which was the Knell folder, but for some weird reason it put it in some folder I haven't used in like 6 months. Let's see. We're working this out. Faces and stuff. There's more in here, it's just very, very light. I can bring that up. She's fine. I'll be inking her just like that. Yeah. Originally he was going to be up front. That's when there's some haze of that around. Alright, how about I do this? Let's do some cleanup. From the stuff that got abandoned from the first layer. In fact, I don't even think I need any of that. Well, I don't want to completely clear that. We'll just dig this out and make it a little bit easier. It's going to be a lazy day today. My tablet is kind of low on power as well. Weirdly, it does better on Wi-Fi than or Bluetooth than it does when plugged in. I don't know what that's about, but it seems like everything has an issue. But I like the tablet, so I will deal. Boy, this is like the widest bus. You know, like a luxury bus. But it's fine. No one expects these things to be like completely accurate. Although I take that back. People do really expect that. Ayo, woo woo. The camera is up and running. Also, I did yard work. I'm still just really tired. I've been doing yard work for the last 4 days. Let's see. Should I just enlarge that? Yeah, because we only have a hand here. Does that look more like a sack lunch? Otherwise, it's just like a, I don't know, packet of crisps. Visual representation of how the bus feels. You know what? I like that. I like that outlook. Look, this is very much a psychological journey for me. It's very much about me. Knell is mostly about me and how I experience the world. So it makes sense, you know, that the way he sees things could be more symbolic in ways, right? Because this really is, it's all through, you know, how he sees everything. How people interact with him. See, these are kind of flat. Like that. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. Look at that. That's kind of flat. Like, sort of a curvy flat, like the buses tend to be. I don't know. He needs more detailing. I mean, for now, he's still just basic. He's just still a basic mannequin. His mask will evolve and stuff. I'll put more details in with the hair and the ears and things like that. Maybe the mask will get a little bit smaller. I feel like this... There. I don't like rotating this a lot, but because I feel like it makes people dizzy when they're watching, but you know, honestly, probably no one really cares. So we'll just make people dizzy until they beg me to stop. It's gonna be a silhouette, and Everyone's sort of grimacing at him. You know, he can feel everyone staring at him. Or giving him the side eye. This one is cool, because they are just minding their own business. And Knell's okay with this one. But they look terrifyingly sketchy when you get up close, don't they? Stupid big nose. Gonna be a little old lady. We're gonna be talking to her. It's a purse back here. I know I shouldn't really be doing this. It just takes a lot of time. But I'm just trying to get the visual noise out. I'll go back over it with ink, but the thing is though, I'm not experienced enough with inking. To be able to go straight in like that. So what needs to happen is I have to try to make sure this drawing is as tight as can be. Also don't know how to do these things. How do you even do these? Like that. We don't want to be suggestive. It'll be fine. When we develop a cult following, people would be like, I always preferred the original. Before he got good and did a redraw. Just like One Punch Man. Okay, I'm gonna blacken them out. Here's the little lady back here. Man, it's a whole bus full of women. Is there any dudes on here? Well, there's Knell, and then there's this dude, and I think that's his son. Female equivalent to a sausage. I don't know if I can say that on on this video. I don't know. How about we make up a word like clam bake? If that's not already, it sounds like it would be, right? It sounds like the obvious one to me. Sorry, not sorry. See, that nullifies if you just say it like you just say sorry, not sorry. Okay. I don't know. Is there windows back here? You have like you can't see the bus door, and it would be a weird tangent to see the edge of the door on his neck. So we're not going to do that. Here, I'll just type it in the chat here. There we go. Are these windows at different levels? Alright, come on. There. That eraser is just too small. Well, you asked. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Is there? It does? Oh, do you not have those there? Maybe the joke doesn't hit home. It's kind of a beach culture thing here. Okay. Well, it's a thing. People go out on the beach and they dig up clams. They have little clam digging shovels. There's shorts called clam diggers as well. For a very good reason. They go out and dig up clams from the beach, and then they make a little fire right there on the beach of like driftwood and boil them in a pot. People are too obsessed with eating. Like if literally that's just your whole day is just digging up clams and eating them. They're better hobbies than food, my friends. Okay, these are still off. This is what happens. Is that enough though? I don't know. But then I feel like we have to put stuff in the windows, like like a car or something, but I don't know. We could do like a street. And we'll do like buildings. Just indications. So we think something's out there. Fishermen digging up cockles. Okay, that could be like, I mean, that's basically the same thing, right? Mussels. It is? Okay. See, it's completely different worlds, you know? It's very much like a beach culture thing here. I don't think England's rocking much beach culture. Yeah. You know, like your beaches, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a cold beach experience, sort of gray and overcast. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm sure there's some sunny days, but you know, England has a lot of mist and rain and fog. And I feel like the beaches would be kind of like that. But maybe they're not. So I feel like possibly just the overall like atmosphere may not be conducive to like a, you know, like a beach culture kind of thing. Like look, okay, my sister is so in love with beach culture, as I am now calling it. She just spends all her time on the beach. She just went back to Florida because of the beach, because of beach culture. She was supposed to be here and help her mother in her old age, but instead she was like, I want to go back. Oh yeah, she also had melanoma, and yet she still wants to go back and stay on the beach all the time. So yeah, I'm just saying, you know, like it's just like here the beaches, at least in Florida, are like sunny and hot all the time, and you know, tropical stuff, and you know what I mean? It kind of is conducive to that kind of like surfer beach culture kind of thing. I'm pretty sure that whole clam bake thing started somewhere in the 50s. Beach culture, surf culture. Yeah, you may not have a lot of surfers there. You know what? I bet you Australians do, though. I bet they're all about beach culture. They'd completely understand. Of course, it's very hot and sunny there, so yeah. Of course, I would not want to get in the water. It can't be safe. Natural bodies of water are not safe. I don't like them. I'd spend a lot of time in them. As a kid, I swam in lakes and trudged through rivers and or streams and woods and all kinds of stuff. Of course, I spent time more in a country, rural area than I did in the city as a kid. So, you know, tire swings and dangerous, reckless things that filled the Gen X childhood from morning to night. And then I guess we somehow, are we the helicopter parents? Is that what happened? Did the Gen Xers become the helicopter parents? Why would we do that? Probably because we remember the debauchery we got up to with zero supervision. So they're like, yeah, you're getting supervised, kid. Too bad. That's probably why. Helicopter parent. Oh, I see. That was it? That was the thing? I didn't. Okay. Well, I guess it's self-evident, you know? Protect their kid from everything. Since we were completely... Look, there was a lot of emotional neglect. Gen Xers did not have it made. We grew up to be very strange people because we had so much emotional distance and solitude. So it was not exactly a good thing, but it did give us that kind of superpower, the ability to not, like, we probably weren't the ones freaking out during the lockdowns. You know, we don't have to be plugged in all the time and logged on. We learn how to be alone as kids. Man, I'm never gonna get that curve right by hand. We used to just say they wrap their kids in cotton. Oh, really? I think the phrase has been, like, the bubble wrap thing has been used. Americans have a thing about bubble wrap. I don't know if other countries have that either, or have that too, but for some reason we love bubble wrap. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Like, oh, because then you want to go back to, like, Bubble Boy. That was a movie, but there was an actual Bubble Boy. See, that's where all this comes from. These are real. There was a kid who actually was in a bubble. Some kind of immune thing. It's a big deal. Yeah, something like that. I don't know, it's just a very, very long time ago. Okay, so this one's empty. That's good, because that's where Knell's gonna sit. He doesn't like having to sit next to people. Heavy iron lung. Oh man. Those things are horrifying. But dude, that was like the best they had long ago. How frightening is that? It's like going to the dentist. Whoa. Hell, even in the 50s, dentists were drilling holes in teeth without Novocaine. Alright, so... And I just barely entered the picture when they actually started doing that as a rule. Okay, it's a very poorly drawn bus situation, but it's fine. Because it's okay. I'm not saying why it's okay, I'm just saying it's okay. Okay, should I redraw her? I really want to redraw her. The bus lady. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think this is very I don't think this is very well drawn at all. But it will be passable. Right? When I do my lines over it, you know, everything's jank. No real straight lines. It's going to be shaky. Yeah, and I'm just completely faking these faces. I didn't do any practice on faces. In fact, I'm just organically making faces in the way that I want to. Maybe that's the way you do it. Maybe then you get like a style that way. I tend to look at my noses. I guess I'm doing these weird sort of long, round, like bump noses. Or hump noses. I don't know what that is. Guess that's a Braxton nose now. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm okay with this as is. But then we have to do this one. So here's what I'm going to do. You are on rough. Rough 2. Okay, I'm going to copy this and paste it down here, and then move him further down for the next scene, because this is it. This is where he's supposed to be. We're all kind of mapped out here. But I don't have to redraw all these people. I have to remember how to do this. I could just use the lasso square thing, but do I want to? I'll just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Don't be scared, Braxton. Yes, good. I had to remember how to do that. No, let's leave it like that. We'll trim off the top. Okay. Put rough 2. No. Leave it there on its own. And there, let's blink that off. He's gonna be further down. So let's grab whatever. Stupid curve. Okay, here we go. We can do this. Okay, I'm gonna put his feet right there. Honestly, I should just redraw him. Which is kind of what I'm going to do, but let's see. Where are you at? Maybe. Okay, what I'm going to do with him is he's not really going to be there for long. Alright, what am I going to do? I'm going to drop rough copy into there. Just merge those as one to get back to there, because it always makes a copy of the layer. Let's see. All right, better. What was on this one? Apparently nothing. Oh, that was probably the sketch. Just leave it like that. We'll use this one, and I'll redraw him down here because he's gonna get into the seat. So that means the reason I want him down here is so I can kind of get his perspective a little bit. Can I grab some blue instead? Something kind of like a non-photo. There we go. Well, so much for circle practice. Excuse me. Maybe this one. See? That's why I wanted him down here. Okay. Can I just delete that? Yes. Yes. Uh-oh. Don't celebrate yet, Braxton. I have no idea what I'm doing. I know it's hardly noticeable. Okay, we'll tidy those up. Because I think this side needs to be a little higher. Because now I'm faking these, there. The perspective in here. Like, awful hard. We're shoehorning it in. And no, I don't. I really don't know what I'm doing. This is all 100% new to me. Every single thing I do on this stream now is pretty much something I've never done before. Tell you what, that's scary sometimes. Okay, so should I drop him down in or create another layer on top? Because what'll happen is when I ink over it, all this red correction, you know, I'm using the different colors back and forth so I know where I'm at, what I've added, and what I need to take out. But later on, I'll turn all this non-photo blue so I can ink over it. Of course, non-photo blue isn't exactly a thing these days. I mean, it is in that it's a color, but it's really more of a traditional color than, like back in the day, the cameras couldn't pick up that kind of stuff. So they use that color to draw the comics and they ink over that, and then you can leave all the blue lines there because the camera doesn't pick it up when they photo scan it and print it off. It's really kind of genius the way they were able to do stuff like that with just basic analog stuff. But these days, stuff like that, everything can pick up these colors. They can pick up a full range. You know, nothing, no mechanical or no camera, no scanner, no anything is blind to this color unless you tell it to be. So that would be like green screening, right? Or color keying. Chroma key, yeah. Yeah. That's what it's called. Chroma keying. So now people just use non-photo blue as like a traditional thing. That's why, since this is made to be, this is dedicated to comics. If you don't do manga, anime, Western animation, Western comics, you don't do those things, I don't know. You may not get as much from it. And the reason it's got these things is there's literally a button. Look, there's a dedicated non-photo blue button. Right there. If you needed more proof of this being made specifically for comics. And, you know, like this kind of illustration. But again, it's traditional. Also, it's a nice light color. It's easy to see, but it's light enough to where you can ink over it. So it's just always a choice for inking. Oh, I'm erasing the wrong thing. Darn it. See, there's a separation. Of the mask around the ear. What is that? You know what? I think that's a Charlie Brown nose. Is that what I'm doing? Am I doing Charlie Brown noses? Brown noses. Charlie Brown noses. There. Hope the auto whatever it is, the auto captioning doesn't decide to freak out on that. Yeah, I'm doing like Charlie Brown faces. It's fine, I grew up watching that stuff. It's probably why. There's a lot of influence just from subconscious, I bet. I'm interested to see what my style is eventually going to look like. Of course, he's very stiff, but he's never in action pose. He's not in action poses yet. He will be, though. There will be action. He's another anti-hero, of course. He's a reluctant hero. He doesn't want to mess with this, but he has to mess with it. Like he'd rather not bother, but he doesn't really have a choice. That kind of thing. See, the thing is, if I turn him blue, he just gets even lighter because I made him with the light blue. So I don't know if I should trace him out in red. You know what? There's a little trick. How do you do that? Is it like control click? Okay. So here's what I think this is. Control click on the page here, which as you can see it responded. It supposedly, and we'll figure this out, we'll find out in a second, selects every pixel on the page. And since he's the only thing on that page, it's selecting all the pixels that he's drawn with. I think I might be able to color his lines and darken him up a little bit. Of course, who knows how much effect this will have. There. Ooh, bucket fill. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. Look at me learning cool tricks. I just bucket filled the pixels instead of like the spaces. I'm kind of impressed now. Look at that. Of course, it added that on top of the blue because it's there. Because they're like transparent. So now let's see. There, see, he comes off better. That darkens him up a little, at least enough to where, you know, if I went this, because this is kind of scratchy, but I think it's okay for inking. I think I've got his lines down, and I think everyone else is pretty much okay. The person over here is going to be blacked out. That'll just be in silhouette against the window. And oh, we need a, yeah, leave that first. Leave that for now. And we need an emergency door. Again, I'm thinking school bus because I've only ever been on a long distance bus once. So I don't know if it has like the back door on it, like they do. You know, the escape hatch. We're gonna have so much fun with this. I really want this to do well. I want to do so many cool memes. I want to do the Star Wars thing. I'm gonna draw the Millennium Falcon. I want to do all that. I want to draw like Luke Skywalker and Knell doing like lightsaber training. I want to do all this, okay? Of course, I'll adjust them so they're not too close to the IP. But they typically don't care too much about fan art. The thing is, fan art is what helps drive their business and keep them relevant. And they make a lot of money by just allowing fan art to exist. So even though they can, they don't. They just leave you alone unless you're doing something egregious with their characters, with their IPs or something. Right? Or streaming their material or something like that. But if you make it, they're pretty much going to be okay with you. Especially if you're not screwing anyone over. You know, because they're the only ones allowed to do that. You know, I heard that, isn't YouTube gonna like start cracking down on AI stuff? All those spam AI channels that keep coming up. I think they're kicking those to the curb. Didn't they give like a statement like if you're a human and you do, you know, stuff in a video, you have no problem? Like we have no problem with you. Yeah, it's a recent thing. They're gonna start like filtering these AI channels out. You have to look when you go live, you have to go into your dashboard and select a whole bunch. You have to fill out like a form, and every single time you have to click this button. Is this AI? So you have to say it's AI if AI is in it, or if it was made with AI. Then you might have to say how much was made with AI, that kind of thing. course, I never clicked the button because my stuff is not made with AI. But yeah, there has to be disclosure. And I have a feeling they're going to be more strict about basically what that entails. You know, like the use of AI in a video, like for a thumbnail or some basic stuff like that, is one thing. But if your channel is just some AI voice doing AI stuff, selling products and that kind of thing, and or those deepfake things where an AI impersonates a well-known YouTuber. I have seen those. Man, I've seen a ton of those. I think things like that are going to be gone. Like, make your own content. Parody is one thing, but when you're trying to make it look like it's someone else for real, then that's fraud. Because you're trying to make someone believe it. It's like when you copy someone's product and make your own product. A copy is a copy. Okay, but a counterfeit is different because it's meant to deceive you into thinking it's the original. If it's just cheap junk copy, then it's cheap junk copy and you can do whatever you want. The moment you try and put someone else's logo on it and make people think that it's the original, make it look like the original exactly, and there's no indication that, you know, or disclaimer or anything, hey, this is not a real blah blah blah, that's counterfeiting. And it's the same thing as like impersonating people. That's not cool, man. Okay, so here's the door, right? Don't you guys have, does anyone have these? This is like a lock. We're just gonna put like this. Isn't the door barred across? Well, they have this push thing, don't they? Like this push bar. I don't know. Someone who doesn't ride the bus is drawing a bus. Wait, what with drummers? Man, you still get a lot of drum. Well, you do drumming, right? You got your whole drum set. It's probably why you like watch drumming stuff. I never watch drumming channels ever, and they still keep putting Drumeo in front of me. Like, look, how much is Drumeo paying you? You know, because now I'm getting sus. Now this is sus, right? I know, but that's the thing. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're a drummer, and you've got some drumming stuff, right? I've seen your kit, right? But that you're into that. Me, I don't look for drumming videos. I just, you know, I'm a bassist. I look for bass videos. And there's really nothing worth watching because they're all just trying to sell me stuff these days, so there's nothing good there. But, you know, I don't know, maybe bassists and drummers have a relationship. Maybe they think because I'm a bassist, though I reject drumming videos constantly, they still think, oh, he's a bassist. Eventually, he will succumb to our will. Alright. Let's see, what should we do with this one? He's rhythm section, but he's not. Look, the bass is capable of being a melodic instrument. It's not just rhythm. It's not just percussion. Literally, a good bassist lays out the chords that everyone's playing on top of. Like, literally, a bassist can just play a different note in the chord, change the chord, you know, minor 7 to major 7, and then everyone sounds different. A rhythm section. Okay. I'm gonna drop him down in, because he's good to go right there. And what else? There's this one. We're up to this, but we need to do this next week, because this is where I started doing my storyboarding. And this is where we were getting stuck. So what I'm going to do is, and my tablet is getting real low on charge, so we're going to, let me darken in. What should I do? I don't know. I really want to make this a short day. I am worn out. And I don't want to have to plug my tablet in, because it has, like, weirdly, the polling rate, while it's connected, is slower than when it's using Bluetooth. Like, is there a slow port in there or something? Like, when I do a long line, it'll pinch, like, every once in a while the line will pinch together in a spot and then get thicker again. In other words, the polling rate lowered for a moment and it kind of lost that pressure signal. Okay, let's do something about her. Actually, this is fine, because this is inkable as is. Well, I don't know. I'll probably still have to deal with her. I might have to redraw that. What was the city name going to be? This is why I wrote this at the top here, so I wouldn't forget. We need to come up with a name for the city. Did I write it down? Bus stories. I've got stories from Nix. Do you know Nix 242? I have bus stories from him. He's been telling me, because he lives in New York, or did live in New York, and now he lives well, not far actually from there, but is he? Yeah, he's in Jersey now, but he's got a lot of mass transit stories, right? Bus stories. He's how I figured out some of the dialogue for this between Knell and this lady here. This scene, because he's gonna look over and it's gonna be her. This is her right here in stick form. I've got 3 of them. Like, there's this something about a homeless drunk guy on a train. Oh, because it's from it on the train. When the train is suspended, they have shuttle buses instead, and there was some homeless guy on the train. Of course, I don't know about the shuttle bus thing, how that pertains to this, but that he just talked about, he was drunk. This homeless guy was drunk and talking about Star Trek. Like the whole time. I was writing down all this stuff as he was saying it. I didn't really stop and ask him to clarify. I was just like quickly, as he was relaying this on stream, and so I just hurriedly started typing, just taking dictation. These are good stories. But if I had to do a lot of bus stories, I don't know, I'm gonna have to draw a lot of faces, man. Yeah, so here he was. What? There was kids in the back smoking. The bus driver caught them and threw them out. Like 20 of them. He was yelling at them. The hobo was still talking about Star Trek. He was still drunk and still talking about Trek as this all was going on. It's insane chaos on this bus. At one point, he fell out of his seat and just ended up on the floor, and he was just completely unconscious for the rest of the trip, I suppose. I don't know how they dragged him off the bus or train. It was a bus. I have two more, but we're not gonna spoil those. Okay, sorry, I'm just laughing at it because it's just insane. I really want to draw these things. I wish I could draw faster. Because then I could just draw all of the crazy stuff that goes into my head. Alright, I don't know. I think we're going to just leave it at this one for now. It's either that or reline this one. Or re-ink that one. Which I should do. Make it darker or something so I can ink over it. But I don't think it matters. We'll just leave it on the layer that it's on. There we go, there's that one. Yeah, I just have to redraw them inside their frames. Okay, let's save this one. We're just gonna call it a short stream today. We're working on this one next week. We're good on this one for today. Right, perspective ruler. Rough 2. All right. Okay, I'm out for another week. I want everyone to what's the way I've been ending the streams now? Say your prayers before bed, mind your manners, brush your teeth. Always wear clean socks. And I will see you next week.